Hello everyone, how's it going? So welcome to another video of this being the worst timeline for gaming. I'm your host and we just have another terrible story. Now this one's coming from Ubisoft, which isn't a surprise because Ubisoft has kind of just went down the drain when it comes to quality and just delivering excellent games. This company used to deliver some bangers, like the Assassin's Creed franchise used to be the top of the top when it came to action adventure titles. The first game, the Ezio trilogy, Assassin's Creed 3, even though it wasn't well received when it first came out, it gained a lot of popularity over time. I think after Assassin's Creed Origins came out, the franchise just took a nosedive. They stopped going for quality and they just went for content after content instead of actually inventing everything. And it seems they made another misstep. So Ubisoft canceled a post-war Civil War Assassin's Creed last year. In July of last year, word began to trickle through Ubisoft that an ambitious new installment of the company's top franchise, Assassin's Creed, had been cancelled. The new game would have brought the history-spanning series to one of its most modern settings, the American Civil War, and more so the Reconstruction period that followed in the 1860s and 1870s. This is the Reconstruction era. Assassin's Creed gamers would have played as a black man who had been formerly enslaved in the South and moved to the West to start a new life. Recruited by the series assassins, he would return to the South to fight for justice in a conflict that would, among other things, confront the emergence of the Ku Klux Klan. Now that sounds awesome. Like, I don't know about the rest of you, but that sounds like a great idea. Except I would have preferred if they got recruited by the Templars. Like, we haven't had a Templar-focused Assassin's Creed game in, like, ever. The last one was Shay Cormac with Assassin's Creed Rogue, and technically Assassin's Creed 3 in the way of Haytham Kenway. Like, we did see elements of that in Assassin's Creed Unity with Elise, but I just felt like after Origins, they just went back to the classic Templars are bad, Assassins are good formula, and I hated that. I liked what they did with Unity, what they did with Assassin's Creed 3, what they did with Rogue. The idea that the Templars are not these just formulated bad guys. They actually do care about the prosperity of humanity. They just go about it in a different way. Like Haytham's classic speech of, hey, the people did not make any choice. It was made by rich elite under the cover of they're doing this for the democratic process, when it was a lie. He was absolutely right in that speech, as opposed to Connor, who was spouting like they chose Washington. They didn't choose anything, but I just wish they would go back to that formula because it was so much more compelling than just Templars are bad guys, Assassins are good guys, which we've seen through the franchise. That's not the case. Whoever is in power ends up using their power in corrupted ways. Again, Assassin's Creed Unity, if you haven't played it, it's still kind of broken, but it's in a better state now. But I highly recommend you play that game. You'll see how corrupt the assassins really are. Anyway, back to the article. That according to interviews with 5 current and former Ubisoft employees who spoke to Gamefly on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak about the project, Ubisoft did not respond to a request for comment for this story. The people who were enthusiastic about the game were also frustrated at cancellation, which they perceive as Ubisoft bound into controversy. 3 sources told Gamefly that the word filtered through the company last July that management in Paris had stopped development of the game for 2 reasons: online backlash that sprang to the reveal of Yasuke, a historically inspired black samurai. That's untrue, actually. No one knows for sure. Like, we've already debunked this. I don't know why they keep spouting this thing. As a protagonist in the company, then upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows, and 2, concerned that the political climate in the United States has been increasingly tense. Too political in the country, too unstable to make it short. One familiar with the game on its cancellation told Gamefly, game cancellations are not unusual, sources said, but the reasons are as those were. This would be Assassin's Creed game was early. So chances are this game didn't even get into the prototype stage. Maybe it was just storyboarding, so we don't know about that. 2, I call BS on the fact that it's because of Yasuke. We've had a black protagonist in Assassin's Creed games. For example, Assassin's Creed Black Flag had a DLC, I believe it was called Freedom's Cry, where you played at Edward Kenway's second in command, his first mate. So there has been a black protagonist in Assassin's Creed games, and guess what? People liked it. Like, they didn't care. And the idea that the political climate was the reason behind this is also BS, because Ubisoft games have always been political in the sense of their stories. The Division, Far Cry, Ghost Recon, Like, most of their biggest franchises have been political because their foundation was politics. Far Cry 5 had a lot of flack for it because it was supposed to be catering to the American conservative view, far right, even though the game was in development far before Donald Trump ever started his first presidency. And then there was also the divisions issues with the whole Black Lives Matter situation, and the whole flags in that situation, or how they said, I believe it is in Division 2, about how gun ownership gave you an advantage even though it was true. Like, what were they saying was a lie? If you had a gun, you could basically go in this Armageddon situation and take whatever you want as opposed to someone who didn't have a gun. Where is the fallacy in that? I don't know. It's just like these games all have political themes ingrained into them, just like BioShock and Metal Gear. Like, Hideo Kojima dabbles with political themes all the time. He did it in Zone of the Enders. He did it in Death Stranding. He did it in his most notorious franchise, Metal Gear. So I'm calling that complete BS because this has always been a thing. Like, they don't care about it. In fact, it causes your games to gain more notoriety and likely sell even more because gamers are attracted to controversy, believe it or not. Gamers were attracted to Mortal Kombat's controversy about blood. They were attracted to Bully's controversy. They were attracted to GTA's controversy. Like, it would actually just be beneficial to gamers. And the idea of Yasuke was just like, look, I 100%ed Assassin's Creed Shadows. It was a boring, mediocre, safe game. Literally nothing about it was controversial when you played the game. Like, yeah, there was the whole situation leading up to the development of the game, but for the most part, I think no real gamer really gave a damn about that. But when you played the game, it was just boring. Like, this is coming from a die-hard Assassin's Creed fan. I played all the games, and it was boring, like, in every conceivable way. And the thing is, they had literal gold handed to them. Like, Assassin's Creed had these systems where they had corrupted memories. Like, in Assassin's Creed Unity, you could literally play with Arno going through World War II through the Black Plague. And this wasn't canon in his life. It was just corrupted memories that he could interact with. And the person, I believe it was Lila, who was taking control of Arno, was able to relive these memories. Same thing for Assassin's Creed 3 with the tyranny of George Washington. It was an alternate take of a memory that was used to showcase what would happen if George Washington became corrupted using the Apple of Eden. It was played off as a hallucination. Both him and Connor touched the Apple of Eden, and they went through this hallucination, which basically scared George Washington to saying, take it, I should not have this item. So the idea of corrupted memories have always existed in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and this would have been very cool with Yasuke. Considering his history is so muddled and no one knows exactly who he is, you could have had it corrupted memories playing back and forth. Did Yasuke actually aid in Naoi's village destruction, or did he not? Did he try to stop it, or did he actually or was he the one leading the charge? Like, there were so many ways they could have played this, and they took the most safe, boring option. Like, Assassin's Creed used to be a game franchise that pushed the limits in storytelling, narrative-driven, exciting gameplay. Like with the Ezio trilogy, like with Connor's Adventure, with Assassin's Creed 4 with Edward Kenway, and even the lesser-known games like Assassin's Creed Syndicate. But, you know, they just got really safe, bogged down with just delivering the most by-the-numbers experience, and that's what we get. Now, this to me would have been a great idea. Like, it sounds like a really cool thing that a lot of fans would have loved, and it probably would have been one step forward to actually having a Old West Assassin's Creed game. Like, that's something I would really love, but it just seems that Ubisoft is just taking all the L's. Even if this game was in early development, you know, it would have been a great thing to try and, you know, showcase to fans what they could actually do. Like, a lot of fans wanted a Japanese Assassin's Creed game, and what we got was so mediocre and boring. And now the Chinese Assassin's Creed game, which is, I believe, a mobile exclusive, looks cool, but at the same time, I know what I'm going to get from that. It's like with Call of Duty. You're going to get the same chicken and rice. It's going to be bland rice and the overcooked chicken. It's palpable, it's edible, but it's boring, and it's just there. But tell me what you think in the comments below about this. Do you think that this is just a nothing burger, that this was one of those prototype games that just got canceled early because they decided, hey, it's probably not the time for this? Or do you think that it literally was because of what this person is saying, Steven Totillo? Like, he's just stating what the Ubisoft employee stated, but I strongly believe that that's BS. It can't be about Yasuke, because let's face it, like I stated, we had a main character in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and no one gave a damn. They just played the game because they thought it was good. But I'd love to hear other people's opinions on this, and that's it from me. Bye.